I was in the process of building the long block for this Bronco over here, you know, this beauty. But just taking a break on Marketplace, as you do, and found this thing, and the heads and the intake on this are massively better, plus the wiring harness and all the stuff that I need to run fuel injection on that, which would be amazing. So I bought this, and then to get it home, it died, and it was a fully operational vehicle. I think the battery isn't charging, but there's an alternator number, or a junkyard number on that, and a junkyard number on the battery, so, you know, we'll see. But I probably should have got this project, but 40 horsepower, you know, at least. So we're gonna tear into this. I'm trying to entice some buddies to come over, you know, and pay them how they like, to get this thing out for all the powertrain from all that, and then scrap the rest and sell a few parts off. Hopefully, you know, get 40 or more horsepower for $0. That's a great theory, so probably should start on the project then. You know, got a little invested and spent about 3 hours, but we got all the coolant containers, the intake tube and all that, the radiator and all the front accessory, or not the front accessories, but the front stuff here, the battery and all this kind of crap. So got this cut, and harness laying on the ground. All the parts are laying on top of there. So we're gonna sawzall right here quick, and then this whole front clip we'll be able to just lift off and easy access out the front, and then I'll have to go underneath and drop transmission fluid. I don't know if I'm gonna pull the transfer case off yet or not, but I obviously have to pull off the drive shafts in both front and rear, and this thing should, in theory, come out. So we'll get a clip of it going Zeusing right there and tossing that off. So here we go. Go for it.
Oh wait, no, there's support. Never mind.
Yeah. Almost.
I don't know how.
There we go. Since cutting the front off, you know, I stalled by trying to not go underneath by pulling off the accessories and the top so that, you know, there's a little less weight coming off. And on top of that, this gives a little bit more clearance so we can rack it backwards, hopefully. But I eventually did do it, and drive shafts are currently out, both front and rear. You can see I cut off the exhausts and the cats. You know, I did that, not some hillbilly looking for some extra money. So now I got to, now I have to get the transfer case off so that I get a little bit extra weight and a little bit more ability to swing this up into that space. So got these bolts out, got to pop this bolt here, drop this down because there's a bolt up on top that I can't get any of my tools into. So we're gonna swing that down, get that done, and hopefully be pretty close to pulling this whole Explorer powertrain out. Well, we're here. It's hooked up. Hopefully I got everything off that I need. I'm a little afraid that this wiring harness that I left on is still gonna contact, but we'll see. And then I also had a problem with trying to get this manifold off. So I cut it down there, but we'll see how that comes out compared to how the front diff is in there. But right now, all the weight is being supported by, I guess you can't see underneath there too well. All the weight is being supported by that engine stand, so we'll see what the heck happens here. Wish me luck. I'll see if I can get a time lapse going and then, you know, test the strength of all the stuff that I left. All right, so as we were coming out, this was obviously dragging on this. I don't think it actually did anything besides just grab that insulator. And then that caught, as you saw with me trying to pry that out. And then I had a little bit of hang up with just that right as I was coming around that corner. And then this, as it came across there, you probably saw it shift when I did that. But otherwise, looks like the whole powertrain is coming out right now. So might need to drop that tail down just a hair to get out of there, but we'll see. Otherwise, it's looking great. And being that I already cleaned up a little bit, the mess ain't too bad. So let's get back to it. The engine's out. I got the exhaust stripped off of it, and a few other odds and ends like the wiring harness and whatnot. So we got all the converter bolts off, so I should be ready to set it down and pull that off. But I did figure out why I was getting an absolute brain-splitting headache on the way back. Because that right there is the dipstick tube, rotted out, and it was absolutely coating everything and the header. So that was one thing. So, you know, I guess it helped make it cheaper, but probably lost a few brain cells in the process of that. But we're gonna set this down and try to split these two. While I was tinkering around, it looks like an absolute war zone in here. But I pulled the front diff, got the rear diff all ready to go. Gas tank's out. So this will get cleaned up when this gets backed out and the axle's taken off, and then I can actually have time to kind of organize, clean everything. So we're gonna split this transmission. So here we go. All right, so we got all split apart, torque converters off, you know, making a mess, but come here, pop this off, and the actual, like, underneath the valve cover looks pretty good. So for 230,000 miles, I'm pretty happy with how this motor looks. So since all I want is the heads and the intake, I'm gonna pop those off, set that aside, and this should be relatively complete on how taking this salvage apart, I guess. So we'll start getting this popped apart, and I'm gonna leave the injectors on because I don't want to be lazy. So we got my nice little engine stand here, working great, and my head bolts are off. So we're gonna see how this goes. The one thing that I did know that's gonna be a problem is there's a bolt broke right there, and a bolt broke on the exhaust. This one will be easy, but this one, the head's not protruding enough to do the old nut and the welder trick. So we'll see how that goes, but we'll see if I can break these off. I already smacked them with a hammer a bunch of times, so that should help. But we'll struggle a little bit here, obviously. Come on. Come on, dowel pin, let go. There you go. Don't need those. Wow, this has to be a newer motor because there's not really a whole bunch of ring ridge. You can still see a bunch of the last honing, so interesting. Oh, there you go. That was nice. Man, this is looking great. So this is a good deal in my opinion, minus my sweat that I had to put into it. So we're done tearing it apart for a while, and I'll clean up this disaster zone with piles of parts everywhere. So we'll see. I finally have a clean shop again. So that's really exciting. Got some wiring that I got to go through that's still out, but everything else is cleaned up from picking up that free Explorer with free horsepower, because we got it for $500. We've already scrapped it for $200. Kind of sitting in the clear as of right now once the rest of the parts get sold. So what motor we had, the parts we had were roughly worth like 160 horse versus the 225 I think that Explorer was, so we get some free 60 horsepower out of that deal. And plus the stroke that I'm going for, 347, plus the cam. So we should be in the ballpark of substantially better than that. Otherwise, it's a pretty good way to scavenge a donor car, which I have too many of as it is. But what I was doing before that was building a long block, and then I took a break, looked on Marketplace, and went and chased that thing down and had to get that in and out of here as fast as I could. So I'll get back to that now. But thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Stick around and hopefully see me make a 347 work. And in the meantime, check out the Explorer, getting picked up and turned into tin can. So thanks.